So I'm joined today by Fidel Narvaez, who is the former Ecuadorian consul to the embassy in London. Hi, Fidel. How are you? It's good to have you here.
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We were together in court at the Old Bailey in London. I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were when we heard the two witness statements from UC Global about the spying that happened in the embassy.
Well, those testimonies in particular, I am very familiar with because I am basically a witness in the criminal case that's taking place in Madrid against UC Global. So I have previously seen and I had access to plenty of evidence of the espionage, of the spying, in terms of videos, audios, documents, and all sorts of activities, illegal activities taking place in my embassy. So I was not that surprised to hear that in court, but I think it's very important element to consider in order to stop the extradition of Julian to the United States.
Right. So, I mean, out of all the testimonies that we heard, there are over 40 witnesses who gave their testimonies in this hearing. Would you agree with me that those were the most explosive out of all of the statements that we heard because of the weight that they carry?
Yes, I think that's they were very, very important testimonies. That's for sure. But personally, what impacted me most and what should have which should have a lot of importance in these proceedings, I think, are the medical reports on Julian, the diagnosis that has been carried out by the highest specialists in the UK regarding his condition, basically the risk of suicide if he is extradited and subject to those inhuman conditions that we know for sure are the conditions in the supermax prisons in the US system.
Do you feel that this issue about UC Global spying on Julian Assange on the Ecuadorian embassy, do you feel that it received enough attention in court and in the media? Because after all, we only heard about this on day 17 of the hearing, which was the second last day.
No, they didn't get the attention that they deserve. Not at all. I mean, the judge, she has those testimonies by written, and I think it was pity that we couldn't have the witnesses giving testimony, live testimony on camera, because that will have more impact. And they didn't have the attention that they deserve in media as well, because basically this is a political case, and I think the main playing field is outside the court, is public opinion, is what the establishment in the UK decides to do in order to put pressure on the judge, or in order to stop the extradition or to extradite him. This is going to be decided outside. That's my opinion. So even if the testimonies had attention in court, the more important thing is that they are covered by the public opinion, that the media report on them, and that doesn't happen.
Do you feel that the media reported fairly or adequately on the case at all?
Not at all. This is the more important case for freedom of expression in a generation. So it should be widely covered by media. Yeah? It should be widely covered by media. And it's not at all. But I was thinking that despite not being covered, What I haven't seen in the last 4 weeks is negative coverage, which was previous the trial. You had some negative coverage about Julian, about if he is journalist or is not journalist, about all the smears and defamation campaign launched by his enemies. But I have not seen for a long time a negative attack on him, on his personality. I have not seen an opinion piece saying he should be extradited. So that makes me feel a bit more optimistic about this all. Yeah, I prefer no coverage than negative coverage.
Is there anything that should have been in the witness statements regarding UC Global, or something that happened during this period in regards to the spying that wasn't reported on, or not reported on enough in the court?
Well, as you know, in court, they only read a summary, yeah, of the testimonies. I don't recall seeing in the testimonies something that I've seen in the Spanish case, which is Mr. Morales himself telling his employees that he doesn't care about what happened to Julian. He calls himself a mercenary. And that's a very scary statement, because basically he's saying, I will work for the one who pays me more. Yeah? This is not about principles. This is not about justice. This is about money. Yeah, when he called himself mercenary. So I think that needed to be said in court. Yeah.
So Fidel, just before I let you go, do you think that this UC Global stuff, or that the medical testimony, do you think it's going to play a big enough role in changing the judge's mind? Do you think it's going to have that much of an impact, or is it going to be decided solely, as you said, in the public court of opinion? How optimistic are you feeling about Baraitser changing her mind?
Well, I would say that I feel more optimistic after seeing so much evidence against the extradition. I don't think how she's going to justify extraditing Julian after so much evidence against the extradition on her table. Yeah, so the medical condition is undeniable. The inhuman conditions in US prisons are undeniable. The spying on him and on his legal team carried on by the United States, I think is obvious. Yeah, so I don't know how she's going to justify extraditing him. So if she wants to get out of the political pressure, because there's a lot of political pressure on her, she has the tools, she has the resources, she has the judicial cards to play well. So I'm a bit more optimistic after the hearing. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Fidel. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Take care.
Bye-bye.